Hi everyone, it's Elaine Hamilton from the Reiki Center, and today I'm going to attempt to talk about this clean slate or the releasing of karmic debt, or the idea that we have come through our need or requirement to go through karmic cycles. And this is something that quite a lot of people are talking about, and you might have come across it and wondering what that means. I've also been wondering what that means, to be honest, but I've been feeling a kind of resonance with it. And then yesterday, I did a healing with a beautiful client who is pregnant, and her child was displaying for me a first experience of truly coming in with a clean slate. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of this, and it might well have been happening previous as well. A lot of the pregnant moms that I have the privilege of working with often have children who are extremely high vibration and are really coming into this world with a lot less emotional and karmic baggage than what I imagine we were coming in with ourselves in our generation. And the way that that presented itself with this child was this feeling of being able to come in and experience the life, not through the lessons, or like often we talk about the soul before it comes into the new body will have a certain kind of curriculum. So you'll be working with certain people in this life, like your soul group. You'll be working through difficulties. That's why sometimes when you meet people in this life, you'll have this immediate resonance or this immediate dislike for that person. And the idea around that is that we come into this life with an agenda, with a lesson of curriculum. We're going to meet this person to work through this issue. We're going to have this challenge to work through that lesson. And so anything that we have carried karmically over from past lives, we come into this life and we kind of work through it. And for some of us, we work through it and we can move on. For others, we don't, and we come back and we experience the whole thing again until we get it. And this has been the kind of wisdom of reincarnation for forever. Now, one of the things that a lot of people are saying is that that cycle is now coming to an end, that as souls, we are able to now choose and release or relax or just ignore any of the karmic debt or any of the karmic issues that we have come in with. So for us who have come in with an agenda, it's literally schools out. Like you can just tear it up and throw it away, and you don't have to work through it, because your next incarnation, if there is even such a thing anymore, is going to be free will. Like you're going to come in just through the joy of experiencing life. And this is exactly what I felt in this soul. So this new baby who will be born in the next few weeks essentially doesn't have a curriculum. It's coming in completely free. And it's a really amazing feeling. So it was messages like, doesn't matter what day I'm born, it doesn't matter what astrological sign I'm born into, it doesn't matter the hour. So whatever I'm born into, whatever that life stream provides for me as an experience, I'm up for that. That's going to be fun. That's going to be something that I can simply experience the joy of life. And so it's a completely different feeling to energetically what I'm used to feeling myself when I place my hands on people. It's like you can feel the heaviness of the curriculum that they're working with, or you can feel that it's almost like there's certain lessons that they won't be able to get away from. And of course, now it means that we can. Now, it sounds really simple, but since this idea, and I've been working with this very seriously since this idea of the curriculum's gone. And for us, for those of us who were born into a karmic cycle, there is a huge degree of difficulty in our willingness to let it go. So here's the thing, I think, that is really what we're working with now is not the actual karmic debt, but our resistance to letting it go. And I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but trust me, I've been bashing my head against this. So, for example, let's say that you have been in a karmic debt cycle relationship with somebody in your life that has been creating a lot of disturbance. And it could be a very difficult relationship. It could be something that you've had to work really hard to break free from. It might be a tendency that you have to be over empathic or to overgive or something like this. So there's a history. And in that history, you might have had to work really hard to kind of work your way through it, or you might still be working your way through it. And so now when I say to you, that karmic debt is gone, and this person is no longer attached to you so that you can learn lessons, like you can drop the lesson, school's out. You can let that lesson go and you can move on. You can just drop it. Now, here's the thing, the permission to drop it is there. And I've been feeling this for a while. And I think you get a sense of what I'm saying. Like there's a very different freedom in the field. And there's this real sense of potentiality that you can just, like that, like click of the fingers, you can just move through stuff. But then watch as you do it. So watch as you try, just play with this, to look at this person through the lens of a completely new relationship. So there's no more history, there's no more blame, there's no more anger, there's no more memories of what this person has or hasn't done to you, for you, whatever, and that you just drop it. And so that you see this person as if you're meeting them for the very, very first time. And not only that, but you know nothing about their personality or their history or anything, okay? And just watch the way your mind gets quite angry with that. Almost like you start to constrict around it, go, no, this person deserves my hatred or deserves my frustration or deserves my, you know, I'm not letting that go. And that is not necessarily a lack of forgiveness, like you might have worked through a lot of that, but it's almost like our unwillingness to let go of our history. Now, in order to really live in the present moment, it really does demand of us that we let go of our history and all the struggles. And it's almost like we want to hang on to all that. It's like, I've been through all these struggles, I've been through all this shit. And it's like, I'm not letting all this go. Now, that is your own recreation of something that is no longer required of you. And if you let that go, you will be like this newborn child that I felt. And all the possibilities in front of you are completely open to you. It's a level of freedom and a level of joy that I don't think many of us really allow in, because we're so busy working through all of our history and our stories and our, you know, whatever. And that includes all the ancestral stuff as well. So all of that stuff that we are tied into, there is a permission and a invitation, a very strong invitation to really just let that all go and to experience life as if you have a completely clean slate, that there is no history, there are no stories, there's no wrongdoings. There is simply everything open. And in a sense, that's a really scary thing. And I think also in a sense, there is a resistance to really embracing that. And that is what we have to work on now. So we don't have to work on all the karmic stuff. We have to work on our resistance of really letting that go, letting go the history, letting go the stories, letting go the beliefs, all that kind of thing. And I know in a sense we've been talking a lot about this, of letting go of all the old paradigms, but it's not even that. It's not letting go the old paradigms anymore. It's letting go of our resistance to letting them go, if that makes any sense. So, and you can just feel this in your system. So if you just think at the moment of someone that you've had quite a lot of difficulty with, are you willing to wipe the slate completely clean? Like none of that happened. And this person is a brand new person, and your experience of them is a brand new experience. Now, that doesn't mean you fall into the same traps, right? Because you have all that wisdom, but it just means that everything in the past, all that debt, all of that energetic attachment, you let it go. Now, if you can do that honestly, then you will experience all of this joy and freedom that I'm talking about. But if, like myself, when you think about doing that, there's all this other layer that comes up. That is what you're working on now. So forget about working on the issue with the person. No, it's not that anymore. It's working with the issue you've got of letting that go. So I hope that kind of makes sense. It's a very different kind of movement in terms of our personal growth. Like, it sounds ridiculous to say that we really resist allowing ourselves a clean slate, but all this resistance is really what I'm saying you should be looking at more closely now, and let go of all the stories. The stories are irrelevant, done, past, too late. Really, it's too late. Forget it. No one cares. The universe has moved on. It's like, whatever. But I think the next step, once more and more of us start to release that resistance to releasing, and we start stepping into the truth. And a lot of these kids coming in now are just going to come in clean. So it's really watching them. And I'm guessing there's quite a lot of them on the planet already. So if you have a child that was born after 2012, really start observing and start to really take lessons from the way that they're living their lives and the way that they are engaging with life, and just start noticing, are they coming in with a lot of karmic debt, or are they actually coming in with a huge amount of freedom that maybe you don't remember having, or maybe if you have older kids that you don't remember them having. Like, start to notice the differences of this new generation that's coming in, because they are hot wired for this, right? We, not so much. So our job is to really keep up with that and to understand what our job is now in terms of our own personal growth. So for our own personal growth, it's really about facing every moment, every morning as a completely clear canvas. And then from that, looking at what the resistance is that pulls us back, that doesn't allow us to fully step in to the idea that we have no more debt, no more agenda, no more school, no more lessons. Like, school's out. How fun is that? So fun. Yeah, so I'm still playing with that, and please leave comments if you're resonating with this, or if you found ways that really help you to manage all of this new information and new way of being, new way of looking at things. Yeah, it's always fun. Thank you. I hope this was helpful.